That just wouldn't be our style.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
SportsTownChicago.com. Lombard, part of the Beyond Air Network and available on the TuneIn app.
Hell yeah.
Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and the Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportsTownChicago.com scoreboard update.
At 4:24, I am Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update. Powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beyonair.com. ALCS, Yankees versus the Guardians in Cleveland at 4:08 tonight. The Yankees lead the series 2-0. Clark Schmidt will be on the mound for the Yankees versus Matthew Boyd for the Guardians. NLCS, Dodgers versus the Mets in New York at 7:08 tonight. The Dodgers lead the series 2-1. Yoshino Yamamoto for the Dodgers will be on the mound versus Jose Quintana for the Mets. The Bears have a bye this week. They will be back in action next Sunday as a flex game at 3:25 p.m. versus the Commanders in Washington. Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely to start this season with inflammation in his right knee. The franchise will be diligent and cautious to ensure his fitness and long term. The Bulls won 125-123 against the Timberwolves in Lonzo Ball's return game. He played in 15 minutes, was 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 4 from threes, with 10 points in his return. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beyonair.com.
You can put it on the board, yes! Yes!
Now live. Your host, Jonathan Young. Windy City Sports Nation.
Dragons! Somebody grab Dragons there. Do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago. He has a 40-inch vertical. And you are, where's my poster machine? This is what I need my poster machine. Where's it at? Oh my goodness.
Are you ready to dominate?
He hurdles Sauerbrunn, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! 75-yard punt return. Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
This is a good sight. That's a feel-good story. And so far, no setbacks are here in the camp. No setbacks. Just to the crowd.
The Chicago Bulls, number 2, Lonzo Ball. And then in March of 23, the cartilage transplant. Here he is for 3. Good!
There you go.
Welcome back, Lonzo Ball.
There he is. He just plays with a nice pace. He's not rushing.
That's right, man. If you didn't know, if you did not know, Mr. Lonzo Ball is back. He is back and he is playing like in games. And it's cool to see him back on the court, man. He looked like he wasn't even rusty, man. He got out there for 15 minutes, hit some threes, you know, had a good start to the season, to the preseason. I like to credit NBA highlights for that last clip. And I definitely have a question for you guys. How many games will Lonzo Ball play in this year? How many games? If you want to give me like a roundabout, you know, like 50 or more or 50 or less, we'll do it like that. 50 or more and 50 or less. Hit me up at JJ Young, WindyCitySportsNation, gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. How long is Lonzo Ball going to actually stay healthy. I mean, this guy, he was flying into the stands and everything yesterday. Like he missed basketball. You can see it in the whole game, the way that he had a block on help defense where he came over, and most of the times the defender would have went on and went back and not stayed and helped. And Lonzo stayed and helped and ended up getting the block from behind on the particular play. Just that type of effort shows how much he missed the game of basketball. Diving into the stands in a preseason game for a loose ball shows how much he missed the game. So welcome back, Lonzo. I think you are going to be a huge addition for the Bulls moving forward. I hope they don't trade you. I don't think they can trade you because I don't think anybody would take that contract, but I would love to see Lonzo Ball continue his career in the Chicago Bulls uniform as long as he stays healthy. And that's always been the problem with poor Lonzo, is can he stay healthy? Not how good he is. No one ever doubted how good Lonzo was. Lonzo is a good player. That wasn't the issue. The issue is that Lonzo always gets hurt. That was the issue with Lonzo. So it's good to see that he is back and running up and down the court as much as he is. So shout out to Lonzo. Wish to see a lot more from you coming forward as the season's about to kick off. And I'm 100% sure the Bulls definitely have high expectations for him as well. So Lonzo, we'll see how you do. They played last night against Minnesota, the new look Minnesota Timberwolves with Julius Randle out there instead of Cat. And this was Julius Randle's first game, and he went 26 minutes, 6 of 12 from the field, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 15 points. Not a bad night for Julius Randle in his Minnesota debut. And he played 30 minutes, 6 of 23, 3 of 16 from 3. So I feel like Ant is definitely taking the preseason as just that, a preseason, not a real game. And even though the Bulls did get the W, I would have liked to see them get it a little bit more. You know, I would have liked to see a larger deficit, because if somebody is shooting 6 for 23 from the field, that's a lot of misses that you should be able to make up for. So, but Rudy Gobert did have a decent game, 5 of 8, 17 boards. Ooh, that's good. 17 boards and 13 points. Not bad. Patrick Williams for the Bulls, 26 minutes, 5 of 8, 2 threes. Not bad. 6 rebounds, 12 points. See, in this game, he was being aggressive. 5 of 8, he took 8 shots. I mean, and that's it. It sounds bad when you compliment someone for taking 8 shots, but Pat took 8 shots. So I'll take that from Pat. I'll take that stat line. 5 of 8, 2 for 4 from 3, 6 rebounds, and 12 points. Those 26 minutes during the game, those could have been meaningful minutes. I would take a stat line for that. Pat, I would have liked to see, 16, 17 points, but I'll take the 12. He can get that up there. So good game by Pat. Vucevic, he was 7 of 13, 2 of 3 from 3, 12 rebounds, 17 points. So he battled against Gobert all night long, and that's a good matchup. It's nice to see Vooch not just living and dying by the 3. He did take 3 threes, but he had 13 shots and he only took 3 threes. So he's not just standing out there shooting threes this year. That's definitely a good side for the Chicago Bears. And then you had Kobe ice in his veins, 00, number 0. Kobe White 31 minutes. He had 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. Whoo, that's nice. That's nice. 2 boards, 4 assists, 23 points. Kobe White, that's the type of shooting you expect from him. Maybe not necessarily 5 or 7 every night. He can do that for you every night, but you're not expecting that every night. So good game from Kobe White. Zach LaVine, 31 minutes, 5 of 11. Efficient scoring. I'll take that. 2 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 points. That's a good stat line for Zach. This year, we'll need a lot of nights like that from Zach in Chicago to be successful in the Bulls uniform. So, and to build his own stock up. Maybe he can get that stock back up to where teams are like, okay, he's on a winning team now. Hopefully the Bulls will be a winning team. They're 2-2 in preseason. It is preseason, but he can get back there. I do believe he can. And if he's willing to not be an me guy and a team guy instead, man, look out for Zach, man. Look out, man. I remember just 2 years ago when that dude averaged 26 points. He had 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and he shot something crazy like 50. It was over 50% from the field, 40% from the 3, and 90% from the free throw line. First player to do something like that. And he can get back to being that efficient. He definitely can. I think it's going to be dependent on what Giddey, White, if Giddey and White can push the court, get him some easy looks, man, I'm not worried about Zach. Whether he plays here, builds up his stuff, and we trade him or whatever, I'm really not worried about Zach. Josh Smith, he played 18 minutes, 4 of 8, 0 for 3 from 3-point line, but he's shooting them. Shoot him, young man. That's right. You don't miss a shot that you don't take, so shoot it. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 points. 18 minutes, that is, for Mr. Josh Smith. That's not a bad game at all. Then you have Taylor Horton Tucker. This dude, man, he is really trying to make his name well known in Chicago, because he wants those minutes, and it's really nice to see somebody hungry for those minutes. I mean, 7 of 15. He's trying to showcase he's a scorer. Not so much of a defensive player, but he can score. 7 of 15, 2 of 5 from deep, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Come on, man. Stop playing with that, man. 17 points. That's a good game. I'll take that all day long. Great game, young man. So the Bulls, they definitely have weapons. They have their work cut out for them, but they're looking like they're in a great situation. They're younger. They're running in the fast breaks. As soon as that ball gets off the rim, they go. And that's how it should be, because they have so many young guys, athletic guys, that are trying to run to the rim, trying to make things happen for their team or themselves. So this start, man, this could be a really good thing. Starting rotation hasn't been nailed out yet. But starting rotation is very important. It's definitely important. So is how deep your lineup is. Those things are both very much so important. Windy City Sports Nation.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just a small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you going to go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you going to get all your sports news from?
You know.
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
From Los Angeles to New York, Game 3 of the Championship Series, 3 in a row coming here from Flushing. This best of 7 tied at a game apiece. Across baseball, there's not been much of a home field advantage this postseason. Home teams win about 50% of the time. Don't tell that to these New York Mets, who have won 14 of their last 16 here at Citi Field.
Luis Severino on the mound.
Baseball is hot right now. And the reason it's hot is because, in case you did not know, it is playoff time. Playoff time. That means you got to come bring your best every day. And the reason you got to bring your best every day is because, unlike other sports where it's one and done, or you get one game, it's a series for baseball. So if you don't come out and play one game, yeah, you might get another chance, but you're not getting many more. You're not getting many more. So every game really, really matters. And this ALCS, the Yankees versus the Guardians, has been a good series. It's been entertaining. A lot of scores being scored. Man. So you have I would like to credit MLB for that last clip. Can Cleveland come back from this 0-2 deficit? Can they come back? It never really happens in baseball. When you're down 0-2, 0-3, that's it. Basketball too. So me personally, I don't think they can. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. I want to know, do you think Cleveland can come back from this 0-2? Reach out to me at Windy City, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation, gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think Cleveland can actually come back in this. So in game 2 versus Cleveland, Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan each tried to do what they could. Kyle Miranda, they each had a hit. Jose Ramirez had a home run. I really like Jose Ramirez. He has really become like the face of the Guardians, and he is a veteran. He's a stellar player, and he deserves all the acclimates that he has gotten because he is a professional player. Jose Ramirez, I wish he was in Chicago, but he went 1 for 4 with the home run. Steven Kwan went 1 for 4. Josh Naylor, 2 for 4 with the RBI. Lance Thomas was 1 for 3 with 2 walks. You know, I just feel like Jose Ramirez just needs a little bit more star power with him. You know, Washington is doing this with, or the Guardians are doing this with one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. And if they would have just spent a little bit of money to add some more power, you know, or even contact hitters with Jose Ramirez, this could be a totally different series. I mean, you look at the Yankees and these guys got some of everybody, man, and they don't stop adding people. Like you thought when they added Soto and Judge together, you thought that'd be it. No, they went out and got Chisholm. Like it just doesn't end for them. And when you're that good, why should it? Why does it have to? It doesn't have to because you have such a deep roster. I mean, Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, like to have both of those guys at the top of your starters, that's your you have two reliable starters. You know, and then you go down, you got Anthony Rizzo at first, Gleyber Torres at second. Gleyber Torres is a dog, man. I love Gleyber. I wish the Cubs wouldn't have traded him, but at the same time, we did get back Aroldis Chapman in the ring. Would y'all still make that trade, seeing how good Gleyber Torres is and how long he's been doing it? Would you still make that trade, knowing how good he was going to be? For how long he was going to be around? I mean, don't get me wrong. You cannot replace a championship. You can't replace a championship. But this kid, man, Gleyber Torres is a stud. And he went 3 for 5 with 2 runs. Soto went 1 for 3 with a walk. Judge went 1 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. See, that's the big difference in this series to me. Is the stars are showing up for the Yankees. And when your stars are showing up in the postseason, it makes things so much easier for everyone else. Please, y'all, in Washington, man, go get that boy some help. Go get my boy Jose Ramirez some help in Cleveland. Get Jose Ramirez some help in Cleveland, man, because that's not okay how they doing him, man. Leaving him out there all by himself, man. I mean, I like Steven Kwan. Steven Kwan is a good contact hitter. He's a 5-tool guy. But man, Joe, you can improve that team. Steven Kwan is a good Robin. But now when you got Gleyber Torres, Soto, Judge, Chisholm, Rizzo, like, come on, man. It's not even fair. Even Anthony Vogt, Alex Vertigo, like they're Giancarlo Stanton, and they are stacked. They're stacked. How can this team lose to Cleveland? I think this is already a done deal. I think Cleveland is definitely going to lose and go home to the Yankees. They're in play right now, and they're in play right now. And let me get you guys a update on that. It is 2-1. Or I'm sorry, 1-0, New York. And it's in the second inning. So I do definitely think the Yankees are going to win tonight, go up 3-0. Next game, they'll end it with the sweep. The Yankees just have too much talent. Just too much talent and too much money. Their stars are definitely showing up for them. And then in the NLCS, you have the Dodgers versus the Mets. And the Dodgers are up 2-1. Shohei Ohtani is just continuing to hit home runs. I cannot believe that someone has that much talent where he can hit home runs. He hits average. He hits in the alleys. He pulls the ball. Like, he is, if not the best hitter ever in baseball, he's definitely up there with him. It's just been great to be able to watch him and how he's been doing, because Shohei is a dog. So it's been nice. It's been nice to see. It's been nice to see what the Dodgers have been able to do. It's it's scary. Like I said, they are leading their series 2-1. They're winning their series 2-1, and they've gotten, talk about star players. They've gotten their star players to definitely be there. Mr. Bueller, what a game he pitched the other night, and it put him right back in position to continue his career. He had a terrible injury a few years ago, and before that injury, he was one of the brightest young arms in baseball. So to be able to see him get his career back on track, that was really nice to see. But Mookie Betts, he's a stud, and then you got Max Muncy. It's like, man, I really do not understand how Cleveland is doing as good as they are when you have payrolls like the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Yankees, and then there's poor Cleveland. Man, Cleveland, spend y'all some money, man. Spend y'all some money. You wanna win the ship. You don't want to just get there. Spend y'all some money, man. That's terrible, man. I feel bad for Cleveland, man. I really do, man. But the Dodgers, they definitely put themselves a good team out there. Teoscar Hernandez, one of the best outfielders out there. Shohei at DH, man. It's really just not even fair, man. Then you got Mookie, Austin Burns, like all these nice pieces. And then even with the Mets, I feel bad for the Mets but not as bad as as Cleveland, because the Mets do at least have some. Man, when you're looking at Francisco Lindor and what he has done and still does, it's very surprising and misleading. But Lindor is a dog. He's been a dog, and he's leading this team right now. He is leading this team right now. And I'm not saying if they will or won't be able to come back in this series. But Francisco Lindor is doing everything he can. Pete Alonso's another good one, man. So you can see they spent money. Starling Marte, they spent money. The Mets have spent money, just like the Yankees, just like the Dodgers. And then you have poor Cleveland. I feel bad for Cleveland. I really do feel bad for Cleveland. Shohei has been a monster. He really has been. Shohei has been a monster. I know some other monsters too, though. I know some other monsters too, though. Windy City Sports Nation.
Back to your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com. Scoreboard update.
At 5 o'clock p.m., I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. The Dodgers and the Mets are in play as we speak. I'm sorry, the Yankees in Cleveland. It is 1-0 in the in the middle of the third. 1-0. New York's winning. The Yankees, they had Vertigo with one hit, and you had who had the RBI? Oh, Jason Trevino with the RBI. Not bad. Good game going on. 1-0 in that game. Then you had the Dodgers and the Mets in New York tonight at 7:08. Dodgers lead the series 2-1. Yoshida Amato for the Dodgers versus Jose Quintana for the Mets. The Bears have a bye this week. They will be back in action on next Sunday as a flex game. They start at 3:25 p.m. versus the Commanders in Washington. Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely to start the season with inflammation in his right knee. The franchise will be diligent and cautious to ensure his fitness and long term. The Bulls won last night, 125-123 against the Timberwolves in Lonzo Ball's return game. He played 15 minutes, went 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 4 from deep, and 10 points. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
This is your home for sports.
Red left.
SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
The quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
Alrighty, y'all. So what you just heard was the London game from the Bears game this last week. I'd like to give credit to Dazen Sports for that last clip. the Bears went to London and completely whooped on Jacksonville Jaguars. They whooped on them, and it was an eventful game. It was cool to watch. It was really cool to watch. But I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, man. Like I was happy, but it sucks. It sucks. And I'm gonna tell you why it sucks. So first of all, let me get the question out there to y'all. Do the Bears need to trade for more help on that D-line? Because these last few weeks, these last three to 4 weeks, they've been getting home pretty often on the quarterback. I wouldn't say they're top of the league, but compared to last year, man, they have already had more sacks this year than last year, and it's good to see them getting after the quarterback like they are with so much consistency. Outside of Montez Sweat, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Outside of Montez Sweat, they would have already had more sacks this year than last year. But they were down. They were hurt. The Chicago Bears team was hurt. They went into London. The fans traveled. I love Chicago fans because it don't matter where they play. It don't matter if you play in Chicago. It don't matter if you play in Detroit, Canada, Mexico. It don't matter where you play. Chicago Bears fans is going to come out in droves. And I don't know, man. I think it's just because so many people have lived in Chicago and then they move. They branch out, you know, but that Chicago pride, it don't leave you. It don't leave you. So even though they moved, they still love the Bears. We ain't been good in I don't know how long, but still diehard fans. Still. I'm one of them. This is the problem. This is the problem. When you are a diehard Bears fan, it's like you waiting for the other shoe to fall and you to see some bad football. I want to be excited for the Bears. I really do. But history has taught us in Chicago that a couple of games don't mean nothing. So the same way the first 3 games didn't mean nothing, the last 3 games don't mean nothing. Let me talk to y'all at the end of the year, and we'll see how we grade this Bears team. It's too hard to go at it right now. All right, but DeMarcus Walker, speaking of that defensive line, DeMarcus Walker had a sack and a forced fumble. 2 quarterback hits. Chris Williams had a sack. Armin Abaganji had a sack. Sweat and Cowart combined for a sack. They had 4 sacks total. And that's pretty good numbers against a good offensive line. They're not an average offensive line. They have a good offensive line. So that's some good stats for a defensive line where you're still wondering if you have enough pressure coming from your defensive line, and you got 4 sacks. So that's a big win for that defense. The secondary. The secondary was definitely depleted. There was no Stevens, no Brisker, and it was like they didn't miss a beat. Jalen Jones came in with 10 tackles, 9 solo tackles, 10 tackles. So there was giving some receptions up, but when they were giving up, those DBs was right there. Kyler Gordon, 7 tackles, 5 solo. I remember a few plays he made just as soon as the receiver or running back caught the ball, and when you play those screen games, he blew up one screen where the the wide receiver's trying to block him, he blew him up and made the tackle in the backfield. Like when you have people that's hurt, when your secondary is hurt, when you're missing Brisker and you're missing Tyree Stevenson, and you got Kyler Gordon playing the way he was, Kevin Byard playing the way he was, and I wasn't a big Kevin Byard fan. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I felt like he was the weakest link in the secondary, but he continues to make plays. 7 tackles, 1 pass defended, and that pass defended was a huge play. That was a huge play for the Bears. Josh Blackwell with a pick. So that defense, even though there was no Tyreek Stevenson, even though there was no Brisker, they followed those receivers all around the field. I mean, Evan Ingram had 10 receptions for 102 yards, and he had a great game. He had a great game. But besides him, man, the Bears held him in check, Joe. That defense, 68 yards rushing they gave up. 68 yards. That's pretty good, man. Like 17 of that came from Trevor Lawrence. So you're giving up about 50 yards to your running backs on 15 carries. Or I'm sorry, 13. 13 carries. I'll take that. I'll take that. And they couldn't really run it much because they were playing from behind after the first quarter. They were up 3-0 after the first. And I remember being like, oh man, after the first, I'm like, oh no, here we go. Here, that other foot is falling. But when you have a dominant team like the Chicago Bears, it's supposed to be dominant. Let me take that back. It's supposed to be dominant. It's supposed to be better off than where the Jacksonville Jaguars are. You should be able to look at their record and see the difference in the two teams. So Chicago Bears are 4-2 and Jacksonville is 1-5. So even though Chicago should have won this game, and they did, there's been times where Chicago has let their fans down. Other teams, 8-1, going against a team that's 1-8, it shouldn't happen. And there's been times where it has happened. And it's not because that 1-8 team is better than that 10-1 team. It's just football. Any team can win any week. Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. Any team on any week can win. So when they was winning 3-0, I was like, oh man, here we go. But the Bears turned it around. And not only did they turn it around, they looked dominant. They passed the eye test. And the eye test is when you have a good team versus a bad team, the only way to really, you should be able to see the game, not the stats. You should be able to just watch the game and say, from what you saw on screen, this team was undeniably better than the other team. When you have a favorite going against a team that's having problems, that's really all you can ask for. You want to see the eye test, which is, and the eye test this week, the eye test this week showed how much better of a team the Bears have versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence isn't a dog. He is. If that boy had him some receivers that would catch the ball, some reliable defenders that can, or some reliable receivers that can create separation, that Jacksonville team would be scary. They'd be scary. You know. But defense is there. No worries. No worries. I'm not worried about the defense at all. I'm just waiting on the other foot to drop. Windy City Sports Nation.
Longtime fans, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsTownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Well, welcome to London. This is awesome. In terms of your own vision, from the franchise point of view, how important is this on an international stage?
It's critically important. I mean, to think about, we have 4 million fans in Chicago, 15 million fans in the state of Illinois, 40 million fans worldwide. Someone told me this morning that we have the largest following of fans around the world for a U.S. sports franchise in any sport. But you think 40 million fans, and I'm always thinking about what can we do, because you've heard me say it before, I look at our fans from 10 months old to 110 years old. And there will be fans that were not Chicago Bears fans a week ago, but after spending time here and going back home, we'll have new fans. And I love the fact of the younger demographics, even just coming here today to spend time with you, seeing NFL gear in downtown London, which is really...
Man, I'm telling you, the Chicago Bears fans base is unlike any other fan base in the world. It really is. London is a whole nother country, Joe. London is a whole nother country. And them boys, when Chicago came out, you would hear nothing but applause. Jacksonville came out, it was all the Boo Birds. All the Boo Birds came out. And it's funny because you would think they were playing in Chicago with how the stadium was reacting. And it's so far from Chicago. Definitely want to give credit to Chicago Bears YouTube for that last clip. That was Mr. Kevin Moran explaining how good Chicago Bears fans are and how well we travel. They travel well. I mean, right now, Caleb Williams is must-watch TV. He is, because you want to see. You want to see is his growth each week has been more and more and more. And that's what you want. That's ultimately what you want. You want to see growth. Has Caleb after 6 games, okay, you saw the bad, now you're seeing the good. After 6 games, is it reasonable to answer this question? Has Caleb ended the 75-year drought of terrible quarterback play? Has Caleb done it? Reach out to me, man. Let me know what y'all think. JJ Young, WindyCitySportsNation, gmail.com. Let me know. Is Caleb him? Okay, now, like I said, I'm always scared to overreact. And it sucks being a Bears fan because you're always waiting for that last shoe to drop. You always waiting for them to go on a good streak, and then all of a sudden when the wheels fall off. And you'll be like, oh, well, they played stinking Jacksonville. Jacksonville ain't got nobody. That's why they won. Like these are normal conversations Chicago Bears fans have because we've been so disappointed so many times. It's hard being a Bears fan. It really is. Because even when you see success, you'll be like, oh, well, he did it against Jacksonville. Man, look here. Jacksonville played some good teams already. Jacksonville's played some good teams already. Out of those teams they played some good teams already. All right. They played Miami when Miami was healthy. And they had Tua, Tyreek, and everything. This was the first week of the year. And guess what? Caleb looked better. And then in week 3, they played Buffalo. In Buffalo. You know who had the most passing yards in that game? It wasn't Allen. I thought it was going to be Allen, but it wasn't. It was not Josh Allen. It was Trevor Lawrence. And they lost. Jacksonville lost. Trevor Lawrence had 178 yards in that game. Against Houston, playing against Deshaun, and 24-20. And Caleb outshined, or not Deshaun, I'm sorry, against Mr. CJ Stroud. And not even him, not even CJ did better than, CJ didn't even do better than Caleb. Caleb had the best out of, okay, so Jacksonville played Tua, Josh Allen, and they played CJ Stroud. They played all 3 of those teams. And Tua is considered a better quarterback than Caleb. Josh Allen is definitely considered a better quarterback than Caleb. And CJ Stroud is considered a better quarterback than Caleb. But Caleb had better games than all of them against Jacksonville. Caleb had a better game than all of those quarterbacks against Jacksonville. So even though it's difficult, you have to put things in context. You can only play who's on your schedule. I understand that. But if they're on your schedule, you got to beat them. And the Bears beat them badly. And not only did they beat them, every single week you can literally see the growth from Caleb every week. And that was something that you didn't see with Justin. I was a huge Justin fan supporter. I didn't want to get a rookie and start over. But I'm going to tell you, it was like 1 week Justin looked good, the next week he looked okay. Next week he looked great, next week he looked terrible. Terrible. There was no growth. There was no consistency with Justin at all. At all. He was up, he was down, he was left, he was right. And like I said, me, myself, I am a big Justin Fields supporter. I feel like they should have gave him all the weapons they gave Caleb. But that's neither here nor there because Justin isn't here no more. Caleb Williams is, and he is trying to kick the door down. He not knocking on the door. He not waiting for you to answer. He is ready to kick the door down. His first 3 weeks at first game, man, it was so bad. But he looked overwhelmed. He looked like he wasn't ready. This last game on that touchdown pass to Cole Kmet in the first quarter. Or in the second quarter, I'm sorry. That touchdown pass Cole Kmet in the second quarter where he looked left, looked right to set up the screen, and then threw it to Cole Kmet down the middle. It looked like he had so much control over that play. He wasn't scared at all. There was no hesitation. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it. That play was perfect. The touchdown pass that he threw to my boy Keenan Allen over the middle, oh my goodness, man. They showed when he threw the ball. They paused it. I was watching Tim the quarterback school on YouTube, and man, they paused. They paused when he had brought his arm back, and I mean Keenan he still had his back to him, like he was nowhere near getting out of his break when that ball was thrown. So Caleb knew where he wanted to throw the ball. He knew exactly the placement of where he wanted to throw the ball. He knew who he wanted to throw the ball to. He anticipated him being open and made a great throw for him to get him open for that touchdown. It's like you can see the progression. On the last touchdown to Cole Kmet, you can see his head go left, middle, right. Your eyes as a quarterback, your head as a quarterback is going to move the defense. Justin Fields, there was too many times where he would just lock on to a receiver. It's like he didn't use his eyes. I loved his cadence. I will tell you that he got so many false starts. But if that's the best thing that you could offer from him is he has great cadence. And he got a great deep ball. He's electric as a runner. But sitting in the pocket, throwing on time, and throwing with anticipation, these were his weaknesses. This is the reason that he's no longer in Chicago, because he was unable to do that. He was unable to throw on script. He couldn't read the defenses. He had all that athleticism, but he just wasn't a pocket quarterback. No matter what they wanted to do to him, no matter how bad you want somebody to be something, if they're not able to do it, they're just not able to do it. And I hate to say it, but he's not a pocket quarterback. So, all the teams this year, all the teams with the great records, you know what they got in common? They have the best quarterback in their division. All the teams with great records, they have the best quarterback in their division. I mean, except for the Bears, but they don't have the best record in their division. They have one of the best records, but I feel like they have the best team in their division. If Caleb can just continue to make his strides, continue to take his steps, it'll be interesting to see how far he can take this team. It'll be interesting. The Bears are on a flex that tells you that the Bears are must-see TV right now. They flexed them, man. They flexing on my Bears. Man, can't wait to see you guys next week so we can discuss what happens with my Bears. Oh, they got an off week. Oh, we won't be discussing the Bears. I'm sure we'll still be discussing the Bears because they are really must-see TV right now. Even when they're not on the TV, you got to talk about them. I'm sure something's gonna happen. So we'll come back next week, talk about Bears, the Bulls. The start of the season's right around the corner with them. Can't wait for the start of the season. MLB baseball World Series should be done by next week. Have that update for you and more. You guys have yourselves a great weekend. Catch you next week.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching